Welcome to the Intercut podcast, the weekly show going over the TV movies and entertainment that people can't cut away from. I am your sleepy voiced host, Zachary Shevich, and joining me, rubbing those sleepies away, it's Arturo Zurita.
Yeah. That's all I got for you at
Can't
7
cut
in the
away
morning.
from. Yeah, it's not necessarily the easiest time of morning to bring all the energy and all the excitement. Though we are excited. It's nice
The
to
Gaga
finally
fans are in the
get.
chat for the official Oscars. I can see the people are there voting for Jai Bahim, a movie I have not even heard of. But hey, isn't that what Oscar morning is all about, baby?
Yeah. It's always fun to me to follow along in the Oscars live chat and just see the completely delusional people who think some random film that has absolutely no chance of getting an Oscar nomination is going to get in there. Like maybe this isn't quite as so delusional, but I do remember the fierce support for Christopher Nolan's Interstellar the year that it got left out of the Best Picture race, and a lot of disappointed people in the live chat. Do you think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people following any particular movie this Oscar morning?
Maybe particular movies. I think if you're in the Come On group, chances are you may not be as excited or as elated as other people may be. I'm wishing the best for certain people who are voting for certain people. In particular, I think it's the acting categories that people usually get the most upset with. There's never usually a movie that gets completely shut out that they weren't already expecting. It's more
Yeah.
so that someone stole that spot from an actor or actress that people really wanted in there. So
Thanks, David. Saying y'all looked in. Yeah, I mean, look, we were broadcasting less than 12 hours ago. It's early. It's 8 a.m. for me. It's 7 a.m. for Art. It's 5 a.m. over in
for some of y'all,
California where David is. So I guess maybe we don't have
you got to open
that
up
big of
the
a.
last of the directors' coffees from the Chicago Film
Ooh.
Festival. Let's see how many of those selections end up making it in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I was putting together some of my last minute predictions, and there's some movies that I really loved. You mentioned Come On that I just don't have anywhere on my ballot. Mass that I don't have anywhere on my ballot. Just a bunch of movies that I'm hoping get some kind of love that I'm starting to expect might get none. I mean, for a while people were expecting uh, Kristen Stewart and Spencer to be pretty heavy contenders, and I don't have uh, Johnny Greenwood's
Bro,
score from the film in my final nominations. I don't
wow.
have her in my final roundup. Actually, maybe I do have her in my final
What?
roundup.
Do
Um,
you want to go through the roundup as quick as possible? You want to do a shoot right before they announce them? Our top
I
fives.
mean, it's hard to keep up because they run through them quick. But do you have for the best acting categories some top fives?
Yeah, so first off, I'm going to say right here Amy Adams, Best Actress, Woman in the Window. Believe it or not, it is still a viable option. Zach, you and I have both talked about
The
how
Razzie nominated
Amazon
film.
Amazon has used Lucy and Desi, the doc, as a way to be able to push the movie. I feel that the entire woman in the window behind the girl across the street or whatever that people don't understand what it is, it's because the entire thing has been a psyop from Netflix. It's been a way to still get that movie in people's minds to be able to vote Amy Adams in and
Yep.
for her to win her first Academy Award.
Yeah. Never
Or
too
maybe not.
late.
I'm going Kristen Stewart, Olivia Colman, Jessica Chastain, and Penelope Cruz. I that this
Interesting.
spot can go to Renat. It can go to Lady Gaga. It can go to Jennifer Hudson. I'm cool with whoever gets that fifth spot. Just not
Uh,
Nicole Kidman. I actually have Nicole Kidman dead bottom.
See, I have Nicole Kidman getting in there, even though I don't want her to be. Like, you can't think with your heart. You got to think with your brain, and you
I
know,
can only think with my heart. I want her in
heartbeat,
there.
heartbreak just feels good in a place like this. And she reminded us this year she's on people's brains. She's going to get that Oscar nomination for her participation in the AMC ad. Also, she's in Being the Ricardos this year. Um, I
Directors.
so neither of us have Alana Haim getting in there because Gold Derby has her in their top five, which I was a little surprised by, to be honest.
The love for it. I guess.
Yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the Haim girl. Uh, what about in Best Actor? Do you have the same top five that I do in terms of who you expect to get in? That being Will Smith, Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Garfield, Denzel Washington, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't want Leo. I would
Well,
love
is it
a
want
surprise
or
hit here.
expect? Because I'm not saying that I want this.
I don't expect Leo either. I don't see why we would get Leo. I see us getting somebody else before we get him. I don't know if you had mentioned Denzel, but
Yeah.
instead of the Leo spot, this would be the perfect place to have a surprise hit like Clifton Collins Jr. for Jockey or
Hmm.
Nicolas Cage for Pig, which is what a lot of people are hoping for. But also the Simon Rex train just died, man. I thought y'all were gonna carry the boy Red Rocket him all the way to the finish line, but y'all
Yeah.
left him in the dust a while ago. I still think. Uh, I still think that's one of the better performances of the year if we're talking about a male lead. But
I
uh,
agree. I think it's tough with the best actor slot. Like those are almost always going to pretty established stars and guys like Simon Rex or even Clifton Collins Jr. It's like a little tough.
usually don't snatch him up.
I feel like these are performances before the performances that might get them nominated for an Oscar. But yeah, Red Rocket is another one, and Jockey's another one where I just don't expect them to pull up with any nominations by the time
Worst
we get
person in the
into the
world. I
awards.
can see people mentioning that already
Yeah.
at the bottom. It being a little bit of a thing. In supporting's really quick in terms of actresses. I still have Kirsten Dunst. I would love to see Catherine Hunter for Tragedy of Macbeth get in there, and I'm still praying for one of the mass women to get in there. Obviously, I personally have Martha Plimpton. I don't know how they were dividing it, how they were pitching it, but really doesn't matter because Ariana DeBose, I feel, is going to be the one who's going to take this one all the way. But it'll be interesting to see who rounds up the rest of that category. I don't know if you
Yeah.
have anyone different.
Well, I think supporting actress is pretty interesting because it is like one of the few chances I think we have to see one of the mass women get in there. I also think this is probably Passing's best opportunity at getting an Oscar nomination with Ruth Negga picking up a bunch of awards here. So it'd be cool to see her pull up in there. I really liked Anjanae Ellis and King Richard, and I feel like that's a campaign that has lost a little bit of momentum, but I still expect her to pull in with a nomination here. But yeah, I agree with you. Ariana DeBose, Kirsten Dunst. A lot of people really loved Kaitrina Balfe from Belfast.
From
I just think
Belfast.
that's a fine performance. I would be fine
Uh,
with her not
Give me
getting the
Jessie
nomination here.
Buckley
Yeah.
from The Lost Daughter. Give me Olga, the grandma from In the Heights. I'll take any of them. Dude, supporting actor.
Yeah.
This is, look, I want Cody Smith McPhee to win, right? For sure.
Totally.
But I would love to see Mike Weiss from West Side
Let's
Story.
go.
Like,
Yes.
I feel like it should be more of a shoe-in than we should already think, but I'm a little worried because he hasn't appeared in some places. But I
Yeah.
would love, love, love to see Coleman Domingo for Zola in this
Ooh.
spot. If there
Ooh.
is one place that Zola could appear, I would love it here or in
Yeah.
like one of the writing categories,
That's
truthfully.
another one.
Uh,
The Zola
oh,
nomination
dude,
might be
fantastic.
a little bit unexpected, but it would be really nice to see. Yeah, that Mike Feist nomination is one that I don't have in my picks, but I wouldn't be surprised to see. But if it happens, I'm
Okay.
gonna be I might get a little excited here. So yeah,
All right. I don't know if you have.
we're running with like 3 minutes to go before they start talking at us. We're gonna keep talking through their nomination spiel a little bit until they get into the actual awarding of stuff, and then we can get down to our
Mhm.
reactions. Uh,
Will Spider-Man win any today?
will Spider-Man
Will
be
Spider-Man
nominated
be
for
able
any
to whip some
today?
his way? Exactly. It's a win in my book. I think in their book too, if it just gets a mention.
Yeah.
I think in any way, shape, or form. Probably the technical categories, but even the technicals that I see it in, specifically the sound category, I have certain ones that I hope get it there. But I was reading some of the fun facts leading into this. Did you know that a lot of the Academy members have really pushed the idea of ending DVD screeners for the environment? So they've really been pushing links, which I think is a very interesting way for them to also have it on the forefront that they know when you've seen a movie or not. You know, they can't
Right.
track your DVD screener, but they can see whether you've gone on the Academy website. On top of that, they were able to expand a lot of the shortlist, so there was a lot more movies that are available to be voted on this year. With this also being the year, as we're about to see, where we are going to get 10 whole nominations for Best Picture. So it's going to be a really interesting nomination year. On top of that, do you know who's producing the ceremony?
I haven't heard anything about that yet.
Will Packer. They approached Will Packer, the dude who is big time producer from Night School recently to the Ride Along movies. Literally, the man has worked with Kevin Hart every step of the way. They brought him on to produce. I'm pretty sure he's still doing the whole ceremony. So they have not announced a host, but they have announced they're gonna have a host. I don't know. Maybe they surprise and actually bring Kevin back, or maybe Tiffany Haddish because he's also worked a lot with her too. But we do have who's producing the show. It's gonna be really interesting to see what they bring after what Soderbergh did last year and how things went with that.
Yeah, that might be a good indication of where they're thinking in terms of the host, if anything. So
Hmm.
we'll be curious to see what happens given last year's ceremony. I don't think was the most well received, even though I kind of liked it.
Nah, it is decent, bro. But you and I are Soderbergh fans. What else can I tell you?
True.
Let's see. I can't see your screen, but on mine I
Oh,
have a minute 10 countdown going down.
all
So
right. I'm gonna
in a
share my
minute
screen
10,
with Arturo. Art, are you still gonna keep track of how many Oscars each movie gets nominated for?
yeah, I'll be keeping a marker here.
All right, and our live stream software has Art's audio coming in the same as the Oscars audio, so I need y'all in the live stream to let me know if the audio balance isn't working right. So we are working together, figuring this out as we go. No spoilers. The Oscars aren't spoilable. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be good. Let's go back to our two shot. Less than a minute to go before we start hearing which
Any other big surprises?
big surprises, big surprises.
I'm hoping we get a lot of international nominations.
Yeah,
He
well,
is for director.
that's the thing is
Um,
I feel like director has been a pretty surprising category over the last couple of years, and the predictions I'm seeing in most places are pretty tame. I would not be surprised to see some big wrench getting thrown in there, whether that's Adam McKay, something that I think a lot of people wouldn't be happy about, or Ryosuke Hamaguchi, something people I think would be ecstatic to see.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. I may be in the movie capital of the world, but movies really live wherever you come together
Yes,
in
sir.
theaters or in your homes.
It's
share
the
great
AMC ad
stories
all over
told
again.
on screen. And today we celebrate that, thanks to the nearly 9,500 voting members of the Academy. They're movie makers, sure, but really movie lovers about to share the films they've loved the most this year. I hope you're doing the same with your friends and your family.
He's talking to you.
Now's the time. Movie lovers unite. Let's meet your announcement host, Tracy Ellis Ross.
See,
and
that's the
Leslie
thing.
Jordan.
That's what the Oscars should be. It's a celebration of movies. How often do we get to really just celebrate
Exactly.
art in a public way?
Now let's go to the Oscars, Tracy. What time are you picking me up?
Uh-oh, Leslie, someone did not read the memo. The
Oh.
Oscars are not tonight. They're
Ah.
on March 27th.
Classic
this
mistake.
morning.
Leslie Jordan
Oh,
and
yeah,
his
I got all the
hijinks.
snacks ready to go.
Nominees.
This is why I hate being home.
It's a good thing that the actual Oscars aren't this early in the morning.
Oh,
But if it's not the Oscars, why are you dressed so nice?
Oh, this old thing? This is my workout outfit, Leslie. I just threw this on to go to cycling class in an hour. All right. This year's Oscars
Whoops.
theme is
Wi-
Movie
little
Lovers Unite.
hiccup with
and
Art.
during this next half hour,
And he's
we
back.
will be joined by some
I got too
very
excited.
special movie
Yeah.
lovers across the country to help us announce some of the nominees. Are you ready, Leslie?
Wait, I'll be right back. This outfit, it doesn't
Sir.
feel right for the Oscar
This-
announcement.
Okay.
A little too late for an
Well,
outfit change, Leslie.
Oscar nominees in most categories are chosen by members of their respective branches, but nominees for Best Picture are chosen by the entire Academy membership. And if you stay
Cool little
tuned
trivia
to
and
find
fun
out
facts.
how this year
Oh,
you,
man.
Yeah.
the fans, will be able to get to vote for your favorite
Um,
movie and movie moment.
Yeah, that's something that's
featured
worth
on the
remembering
Oscar
too, is that
contest.
the different branches vote on the different categories. So it's editors voting for editing awards, cinematographers voting for cinematography.
In a supporting role.
Oh, and we're starting off with supporting actress. All right.
Let's go.
Let's go math.
Buckley
Told
in
you.
The
Oh!
Lost Daughter.
You were right.
Ariana DeBose in West Side Story.
That means no Katrina Balfe
Judi
for
Dench
Belfast.
in Belfast.
But Judi Dench gets in.
Kirsten Dunst in
Wow.
Power of the Dog. And
Well,
Ingenue
you got what you
Ellis
wanted right
in
there.
King Richard.
Well, already some surprise. That's no Ruth Negga in Passing. Probably means no Oscar nominations for Passing this year.
Design.
And then also none of the Mass Ladies.
Cyrano.
No Hasaguchi? No,
alphabetical.
West Side?
Fair Alley.
Oh,
Ooh,
no House of
look at
Gucci.
over
West
Gucci.
Side Story.
Wow. So
I'm a
sir,
little
no.
hurt my costume wasn't
Edging
nominated
out
Yeah,
again.
that's fine.
House
Got
of
Cruella and
Gucci.
Dune.
Here are the nominees for
All right,
achievement
come on,
in
Soho.
sound.
Get Belfast out here.
Belfast,
Soho, of course.
Dune,
But what about that last night
No
in Soho,
Time to
though?
Die,
It's so Soho.
Oh, no
Dog.
Soho. So yeah, that's gonna be
West
probably
Side
no
Story.
nominations for last night in Soho.
As part of our movie lovers uniting across the country,
Belfast,
let's
really?
go to
Jessie
Detroit,
Buckley,
Michigan.
Oscar nominee.
Joining us
It's her
are
first time,
11
right?
healthcare
Is it her
professionals
first
from
time? I
Beaumont
feel. I don't know.
Hospitals.
I've been on the Jessie
Reading the
Buckley train for so
nominees
long, so I
is
feel like she
physician's
should have gotten it
assistant and fellow
multiple
movie
times already.
lover,
But you're right. I don't
Shantia
think she got it for
Bobo
Wild
Harden,
Rose. I
who
think the whole
loves
train that
the
we had
movie
for
Girl
the
Trip.
Netflix movie.
Shantia,
I'm
over
thinking
to
of ending
you.
things. Nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy.
Was
Here
there
are
no
the
Cruella in
nominees
costume
for
either?
Achievement in music,
There was.
original score. Don't Look Up.
Yes, baby.
That's
Dune.
Nicholas Bertel. That's Hans Zimmer.
Encanto. Parallel
Wow.
Mothers.
Ooh.
And The Power of the Dog.
All right, so
That's a decent-
Johnny Greenwood does get
Thank you
in
so
there
much,
at least
Shantia.
once for Power of the
Johnny
Dog.
Greenwood.
And thank
But,
you to all the healthcare
again, that's no
workers at
Spencer
Beaumont
nomination
and
there.
all across the country who do so much for all of us. Thank you. Leslie, wait. Is that
I had
the
French
official
Dispatch
Oscar
in my
pundit?
score
And if so,
predictions.
why
Was
did
that
I
the
get one?
Splat
I borrowed it.
Really?
score? So
for
yeah,
your Oscar
I guess he misses
nominations
out.
gift basket.
Ah, okay.
And now, adapted screenplay. The nominees
They going through
are
these quick.
Mhm.
Coda.
Coda, screenplay
Wow.
by Sean Bader,
Coda.
screen by Ryusuke Hamaguchi.
Let's
We're
go!
gonna drive my
Drive
car.
my car!
Masaoa.
All right, are we set for a big day for Drive My Car?
John Spates. Denuve.
Oh,
Denuve.
you messed up my boy Denny. Slipped on
and
it.
Tarek Roth.
Like a banana peel.
Is that
Damn,
Denis' first
Maggie
Oscar
Gyllenhaal
nomination?
Written by
coming
Maggie
in
Gyllenhaal.
as well.
And The Power of the Dog.
Bro, we're
written
in
by
for a big
Jane
day.
Campion.
That's pretty solid.
Wow. All right, so that means no
Here's
West
the
Side
There was no West
Story.
Side or passing.
Original
Yeah, or
screenplay.
passing.
Belfast.
Already with the
written by
Belfast
Kenneth
love in here.
Branagh.
Don't
Oh.
Look Up.
It's like I'm about to have a heart
Screenplay
attack
by
with this
Adam
category right here.
McKay.
Please make it
That,
stop.
but that means no Aaron Sorkin.
And David Sirota.
King Richard.
What
written
is this
by
category?
Zach Balin.
Licorice Pizza.
Okay, good.
That really
written
is the
by
best
Paul
one.
Thomas Anderson.
And the worst person in the world, written by
Let's
Ed
go!
and Joachim Trier.
Joachim Trier, we're eating.
Here are the nominees for Best
What?
Animated Short.
The two best foreign
Give me a
films of the
second,
year got into
Years
screenplay.
Above. Best
Bro, we saw
Ooh.
Bestia at Sundance. It was out of pocket.
Oh, jeez, Bestia got in?
Robin
Remember
Robin.
Bestia?
Yeah, that one movie's messed up.
Windshield Wiper.
Oh, Robin Robin's
The
really
complete
cute.
opposite of Robin Robin.
Another
It's the
Okay,
complete
cool.
opposite of Robin Robin.
Back to back Leslie again.
Oh, dear.
I think they like my announcer voice. And now, the nominees for
All right,
Best
we have the live action short film. The damn worst person. Let's go.
And,
A La Cucina,
man, both that and Drive My Car getting to screenplay, that's more than I could have asked for.
The Dress.
Oh, to the dress, that's Polish, let's go.
On My Mind.
And that's
Oh,
Long Goodbye is that Riz
Love
movie,
Your
which is
Dad
available
Ballet.
on YouTube already.
It's so appropriate that I just announced animated.
Oh, there's a
short
couple other
film
shorts I
and
wanted to get in there.
live-action Short for I Am
Shout out the
Animated
criminals. Shout out like 9 o'clock.
And short.
Damn.
Oh, Leslie. And now here are the nominees for performance.
Already,
by
let's
an
go, Cody
actor in a
Smith-McPhee.
supporting role.
What is with
Corinne
this
Hines
Belfast love,
in
man?
Belfast.
Wow.
Troy
Of course.
Kotzer in Coda.
All right, very cool. Troy Kotzer getting
Jesse
in there.
Plemons in The Power of the Dog.
The boy,
J.K.
Plemons.
Simmons in Being the Ricardos.
Whoa,
And
what is this
Cody
Oh, bro,
category?
they scared me.
Smith-McPhee in
How
Power
is he
of the
so at the
Dog.
bottom?
All right, so that's no Bradley Cooper
No Mike
nomination,
Feist.
which is
In
probably
just a few
fair.
minutes, we've got
No
more
Mike
nominee
Feist, which
announcements
pretty
coming up,
sucks.
including
No
those
Jared
for
Leto, which probably
lead
means
actor and
Lady Gaga's the
actress,
only hope left for
director,
House of
and
Gucci.
Best Picture.
Stop, bro. The Jared Leto stuff was legitimately scary me when I was looking it up last night and I saw the numbers and I was like, you guys have to. No David Alvarez, no, like,
how
Anderson,
much fun is
Anders
this?
Danielson.
This is the most
I know.
fun I have ever
Jared
had
Leto is one of
at
those
5
things that,
to
like,
25
if
years.
I just trusted my gut and not all the Oscar prognosticators out there, I probably wouldn't have put him in my predictions. Like, that seems like such a weird performance to give a nomination to. But he picked up the SAG nomination, didn't he? Like, he's, I don't know.
Yes.
Leslie, are you boosted?
All right.
Again, so far, just seeing this halfway through, it is that original screenplay. I was never expecting the worst person in the world to get up there, but damn, that was
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's so
Literally, it
cool.
started off terribly. I was like, oh, this is like literally every movie I don't care to see a nomination at all, to then come in with Drive and then Worst Person in the World. Literally is at the top of my list. My list for original screenplay went Worst Person, Parallel Mothers. Hell, I said Pigmass and Annette, right? I didn't really care. I should have maybe rounded it up at the end there. 'Cause I was like, I'm just going to make this, my parallel universe of what the best thing is. For Worst Person to get it, incredible. Jesse Buckley with that nomination.
I did not even expect Worst Person to show up in.
Ariana bit.
That's really cool.
Yo, we're getting live reactions and nominations. What are we doing here, man? We gotta go to bed.
Yeah, this is sort of like they do this midway break thing. I don't understand why.
We literally just have someone dial in.
They're talking about Judi Dench picking up the nomination. I thought we were gonna be over that. I did not think we were still doing this whole, like, let's award Judi Dench for sitting for 15 minutes.
Yeah, but Belfast coming in way too strong, though. I see it now.
Yeah.
Director, obviously Best Picture.
It picked up
That's kind of
those
annoying.
two acting awards already. I feel like that, if you're asking me, that solidifies Kenneth Branagh's chance at picking up the director nomination, unfortunately. And I think
Yes.
we got to
Sometimes-
start. I think we got to seriously think about it as a Best Picture contender.
What's your take on the costume nominees or on my costume?
Let's see. So far for the supporting ones, as I guess they're taking a break and looking back, we could put a pause on them.
Yeah.
Naming the best supporting ones that we have, I am still obviously going Ariana DeBose to take it all the way. Still very upset that there was nothing for Mass. I know it was far and away to get something for Catherine Hunter from Tragedy of Macbeth, but overall Ariana,
Yeah.
Kristen, right? We
Yeah,
also have
I mean, I
Jessie
think-
Buckley, which I think is
I still
the
feel
best
like
one.
this is Ariana's to lose. She's taking home some precursors and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I would be very happy if Ariana goes all the way. Kirsten also, I think there's a lot of respect for. What other categories do we have?
And then in terms of best supporting actor, I got a little worried there. I thought they weren't going to mention Cody Smith-McPhee for a second.
Right. I was like, wait,
but I
what
can-
letter does his name start with?
Exactly. But I'm seeing the Coda Love seriously come in. It's getting sprinkled here and there.
Here, so that's supporting actor
Definitely
nominees.
see that.
I'm a little bit pleasantly surprised to see Jesse Plemons in there. I kind of figured that Power of the Dog
sounds cool.
wasn't going to be like necessarily a huge force at the Oscars for whatever reason,
Yeah.
because it's kind of a quieter movie, but it's got a few nominations already. I think it's definitely a contender to walk home with the most nominations of any film today.
Yeah. All right, let's see what they're going to boot back up with.
What categories are you most excited to see coming up?
Also, as I'm looking at our chat over here, some people talking about Dune for screenplay. I actually love the fact that they have it for screenplay. I think it's a very smart screenplay that you're not necessarily seeing be displayed through dialogue, but it's visually all up on screen. And
Yeah.
I love the rhythm that he specifically went with for part one. So
I mean-
I love that pick.
It's adapted screenplay, right? And you said, Devesh mentioned
Definitely
it's half a
took a
story.
spin
He's
on it, yeah.
adapting half the story. He's doing his job.
The original screenplay.
Yes.
That's
We have a question here that says possibility for an international film to get a Best Picture nomination. I mean, we
Drive My Car
saw
right
it.
now.
We
Drive My
saw
Car,
it
Worst
not so
Person?
long ago with Parasite winning.
I thought it would win. Yeah. Now it's
I
not too foreign.
yeah, I keep
guess,
mentioning
right?
like they keep nominating international directors for the Best Director award. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that more foreign films will sneak into the Best Picture nominations,
Easily.
especially because they are increasing this year to 10 confirmed slots.
Yes, sir.
All right, I think we're getting back into it.
Announced this morning is a moment each nominee will never forget. Not that I would know what an Oscar nomination is like, but a boy can dream.
Oh, Leslie and a girl can dream too.
For those hunker downers just joining
Woo!
us, good morning.
Good morning, and for
Good
those
morning.
who have been watching, welcome back. All right, now it is time for the rest of the Oscar nomination announcements, including the big one
Big picture.
at the end for Big
The big
Picture.
picture.
The
Here are
big
the nominees
picture.
for achievement in film.
Dune, baby. Get the.
Don't
Stop.
look up. Dune.
Don't look up. An Oscar-nominated movie for editing.
For
The
editing.
Power of the Dog.
Wow.
I've
Tic
been
Tac Boom
redeemed.
Love, let's go. But that's it. No Soho. That was my last Soho.
Don't you look
Pick and getting in somewhere. I would have also liked the Green Knight and French Dispatch.
Yeah, I think is that the end of the Green Knight's chances here? Did they do production design? I think they did.
Still have cinematography.
None of
Ah,
whom showed up
cinematography,
at
yeah.
my house this morning.
We'll
I
see.
did this all myself.
You did?
Yeah. Now here are
What
the
is this?
nominees.
Oh, makeup and hairstyle. Wow.
Coming to America.
Tammy Faye.
Cruella.
Suicide Squad.
Dune.
Dune.
There's eyes.
The
Come on.
Eyes of Tammy Faye.
All right, House of Gucci. Is it gonna get a
Come
nom?
on.
House
DC.
of Gucci.
There we go. House of Gucci picking up that one Oscar nomination.
And there goes the Suicide Squad streak of getting nominated for hair and makeup.
A huge movie fan.
Another
Huge guy.
failure for West Side Story there in hair and makeup.
see.
I wonder if this is all foreshadowing Steven Spielberg not being one of the Best Director nominees.
Don't say that, bro. Nightmare Alley also.
The
Nothing on there.
Academy's mission is to serve economically disadvantaged students.
Bit a
by
lot of love for
providing
Dune,
them
dude.
with a first-class
Yeah,
education.
Makeup
Dune
and
doing
hairstyle.
well.
Also another one that usually gets 2 or 3, so to see that
Here
one
is
really rounded
Titus
out.
O'Neil.
Can
Nice.
somebody look up if Denis has been nominated for an Oscar before? Because I feel like this is his first.
To read the names of the nominees in
I'll
this
check real quick.
next category is a fellow movie lover, 8th grade track star, high honor roll student, Courtney Anderson, who loves the
Okay.
entire Twilight movie series.
Couldn't Twilight live with the Oscars?
Take it away.
You're gonna bring out the Twilight fan and not let her read Kristen Stewart's name? Come on.
Animated feature film. Encanto,
Okay.
Mitchell's.
Flea,
Let's go Mitchell's. Come on.
Luca,
All right. There's your first Flea nomination.
The Mitchells
That's all I
versus the
wanted though, was
Machine,
just to make sure the Mitchells. I could have
and
done without
Raya
Raya.
and the
I
Lost
could have put
Dragon.
Belle in there.
Yeah,
I
you know,
don't if
this
they
is
said Luca.
actually
Did
a-
they say Luca?
I would say this is a pretty disappointing animated feature list because usually you get at least one or two of those kind of like offbeat foreign animated films.
Some Crypto Zoo, some Spine of Night.
Yeah.
All right, the original song, I think we kinda know.
Be Alive from King
Alright.
Richard.
Of course.
Dos
Got the
Oruguitas
Lin-Manuel in there.
From Encanto.
Down
Belfast
to
getting
Joy
every
from
nomination
Belfast.
possible.
Yeah.
Time to Die from No Time to Die.
Oh, Denis got nominated for Arrival apparently. Okay,
And
cool.
Somehow You Do from Four Good
Yeah.
Days.
Is that not the song that people like from Bruno? Did they nominate the wrong Bruno song? Or Encanto
No,
song?
no, no. Bruno didn't get
I didn't
submitted.
do it, it wasn't
They
on
know
Oh,
it's
didn't
gonna
get
be a hit.
submitted. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
in
Nominees
retrospect,
for
yeah,
Best
completely different.
Documentary Short Subject. Audible. Lead Me Home.
George Short.
The Queen of Basketball. 3 songs for Ben Azir.
Huh?
And
When We Were Bullies was decent, but it would have been
Oh, okay.
real cool to see Coded in there.
Now,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I think
nominees
Coded
for Best
gets a little bit
Documentary
snubbed there.
Feature.
Tushar asked where we can watch the shorts. I'll look into that later today, so check my Twitter.
Flea.
Ooh.
Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could
Shout
Be
out
Televised.
Questlove, the Oscar-nominated legendary Roots crew. Writing with Fire. Hey.
Joining us from
Wow.
Good. No love for
Nowhere
In the Same
are New
Breath.
York's bravest
President. I love seeing the
members of
Ascension.
Fire
Love.
Department of New York. At the
Yeah,
microphone,
there's
his
definitely some
fellow
documentaries that I think should have been in there that
whose
weren't. In
favorite
the same
movie
breath,
is
probably chief
Goodfellas.
among them. Interesting
Leslie
collection
and
of
Tracy coming
nominees.
to you live from Times Square. Here are the nominees for achievement in visual effects.
All right, come on.
The envelope,
Godzilla
please.
vs Kong, baby. The dude love is
Dune.
crazy. Free
Free
Guy?
Guy. No Time to Die.
Oscar-nominated Free Guy.
Shang-Chi
Bro,
and the legend
they're not gonna put
Wow.
Blizzard in here?
Spider-Man.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no.
There you go, Spider-Man
Where's
fans.
Spider?
Thank you so
You
much.
hear
That's
that
no
right there?
Green Knight.
That's it getting up to the best
Paramedics,
picture right there.
EMTs for all that you do. I wave every time you drive by. I say hello, firefighters. I
So,
really
Summer
do.
of Soul,
Next up,
Writing with
nominees
Fire,
for achievement in cinematography.
and
All right,
Flea.
cinematography. Dune.
Oh, I'll get back to that.
Nightmare
Ooh,
Alley.
First Love to Nightmare.
The
Wow.
Power of the Dog. The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Damn, they going through
And
these
West Side
quick.
Story.
Nightmare, Tragedy.
And now,
All right,
That's
cool that
decent.
Tragedy of Macbeth gets in there. That is a very
Yeah.
well shot movie.
Dune. Nightmare Alley. The Power of the Dog.
Nightmare Alley finally picking up a couple
Yeah.
nominations here.
And
No,
West
that's a
Side
perfect. That's a
Story.
perfect.
Yeah, I
category
mean,
right there.
Tragedy of Macbeth
Nice.
is definitely needs to be there in production design. I'm glad West Side Story gets in there.
Are you wearing
But
something
yeah,
different?
I
that's
love
more
how fast they're going that they have a little ticker at the
Doesn't mean I
bottom.
can't dress up.
right.
3
So
categories
here are the
ago
nominees
while
for
they're
Best
introducing the next ones. I don't know what's
International
going on.
Feature film.
All right, let's go for the
Drive
big
My
one.
Car, Japan.
Let's go.
Flee, Denmark.
Netflix
Hand
with a
of
little
God,
sneak in there.
Italy. Luana, a yak in the classroom.
Whoa.
And the worst person in the world, Norway.
No
Leslie, you
compartment
keep
number
stealing all the
6.
lines.
Noah Hero. I know you really wanted Lamb.
Okay, thanks. Let's
The
head
Kosovo
to
Hive for
Ira
Hive.
Aldridge Theater
Gone.
at Howard
Prayers for the
University
Stolen.
in
But Zach,
Washington,
worst
DC,
person. Drive my car.
where we have a
The big
special
two.
presenter.
And Flea.
And
Alicia
Lunana,
Rashad
a
is
yak in the
dean of
classroom.
I mean,
Chatham
yo,
College of
Butana,
Fine
is that
Arts.
2
Is that
for
the
2?
first from Bhutan?
They've only nominated. They've only submitted one other movie, and I think that one also got nominated. So they're now 2 for 2.
Damn, and Italy. Hand of God, a play on Netflix right now. Very interesting.
All right, interesting.
Dude, I think we're gonna get a worst person and Drive in the best picture.
To announce the nominees in this category. Speaking on behalf of the students who are with us today is a senior who's receiving his BFA in acting, John Woods III.
The nominees for performance by an actor
All right.
in the leading role are
Really,
Javier
really.
Bardem in
Ah,
Beyond
what a bad way to
Benedict
start
Cumberbatch
the
in
actors.
The Power of the Dog,
Okay, Andrew made it. That's all I cared.
Garfield in Tick Tick Boom,
And I still hope
Will
he
Smith in
takes
King
it.
Richard,
Oh, so that's no DiCaprio, no
Denzel
Dinklage.
Washington in
I told you no
Tragedy of
DiCaprio.
Macbeth.
I didn't think Dinklage would do it, but damn,
Yeah.
that Simon Rex. As far
Well
as they
done,
took him with that
beautiful.
indie
Thank
film,
you,
huh?
Felicia,
Yeah.
and
No
John,
Joaquin
and
Phoenix.
all
I think
the
that's the end of
students
Come On,
who
Come On's
joined
era.
us
Yeah,
today.
there's no come on nominations
Now,
coming.
The nominees for
All right, this is it, Zach.
performance by an
Literally
actress
the most
in a leading role.
Case 2
nerve-wrenching.
Hive. They held their collective breath.
In the eyes of Tammy Faye.
Olivia
So
Colman,
far, so
Olivia
good.
Colman in The Lost Daughter.
Lady Gaga.
So far, so good.
Penelope Cruz in Pearl
Whoa,
Harbor.
Penelope Cruz, okay.
Nicole Kidman.
No Lady Gaga.
And Kristen
No
Stewart
Lady
in
Gaga
Spencer.
nomination.
Twilight fans,
2 more
rejoice.
categories
It
left.
happened.
This is so exciting.
Whoa.
I knew Alana wasn't getting in. That was too good to be true. I'm glad I didn't predict that.
Kenneth Branagh took a
Branagh,
spot.
Belfast.
Yep.
Ryusuke Hamaguchi.
What did I say about the foreign directors? Come on.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Jake
Licorice
Campion.
Pizza.
Power of the Dog.
Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog.
So is this Denis?
And Steven
No,
Spielberg.
y'all
West
took
Side
out
Wow.
For Belfast.
And finally, the big one. You're the
This is
nominees for
unbelievable.
Best Picture.
Okay, best picture. I got Drive My Car in that 10th slot.
Laura Berwick, Kenneth Branagh, Becca.
Okay.
Kuvasi,
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Don't
Spider-Man
Look
No Way
Up
Home.
is next.
Thomas producers.
Coda.
Coda! Oh, I missed that. My bad. I had that in my predictions. I just don't know how to spell.
And Patrick Waksberg.
Okay,
There
Don't
it
Look
is.
Up
That's why
next.
Apple spent all that money.
Producers.
Don't Look Up.
This is disgusting,
Adam
Zach. If
McKay
I'm
and
looking at
Kevin
these
Yep.
three best
Yep.
picture winners.
producers.
All right, Drive My Car.
Drive My Car.
Yes!
Teruhisa Yamamoto. Producer.
Big day. Big day. Dune?
Dune. Mary Parent, Denis Villeneuve,
Licorice?
Cale Boiter.
Let's get some licorice pizza.
Producers.
Wow.
King Richard. Tim White.
Okay, K is before
Trevor
L.
White, and
That's
Will
okay.
Smith.
This also means no being the Ricardos. They already passed B.
Licorice Pizza.
We
Sarah
should have
Murphy,
passed Belfast with it.
Adam Somner, and Paul Thomas
Tick, Tick,
Anderson,
Boom
producers.
next?
Nightmare Alley.
Wow.
Guillermo del Toro,
Whoa. Okay. Oh, wait.
J.
Actually,
Miles
Power of the
Davis,
Dog. They
left.
still haven't
Bradley
mentioned yet.
Cooper, producers.
So Tick, Tick, Boom or West Side is
Power of
missing
the
out?
Dog.
It's West Side or
Jane
worst person in the
Campion,
world. It's West
Or
Side.
Tick, Tick, Boom?
Tanya Segachian. Sorry.
I think it's got to be
Ian
West Side.
Canning,
Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Roger Frappier, producers.
And West Side Story.
Then
All
it's
right.
going to West Side
Spielberg,
Story, bro.
All right.
Then it's going to West Side
Costco,
Story.
Krieger, producers.
Wow, Nightmare Alley. Really?
It was that HBO
Really?
Hulu push.
10
Yeah.
Warner Bros. And Disney
great
came together
Best
for
Picture
Fox Searchlight.
nominees. Everybody, please make sure to watch the
Whoa.
Oscars on March 27th on
Wow.
ABC.
That is surprising.
Okay.
And now, adapted screenplay. The nominees are.
Oh, now my computer's going crazy. That was a little surprising there right at the end. I don't think most people were predicting Nightmare
Any of that?
Alley.
All right. Looking back at it all.
Yeah.
So your biggest surprises of the night.
Biggest surprises of the night.
I guess I can't see your screen, but if you want to boop up and we go, I guess, through category, a quick look back at everything that has been announced so far. I think it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean there weren't too many huge surprises. I think people were prepared for some of the things that we're going to miss out. You know, I think Mass fans were already resigned to the fact that Mass wasn't necessarily going to do as well as I think much of us would have liked. And Come On already lost its chances. I mean, there's definitely a few surprises in there, starting with...
I agree, it's pretty safe.
Yeah. Drive My Car and Worst Person in the World doing better than we expected. Nightmare Alley doing way better than I expected.
Yeah.
And
All
Parallel
right, let's go
Mothers
through
doing
them.
pretty well despite not being Spain's selection for international
Parallel
film.
Mothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was pretty awesome to see. All right, let's start it off with, I don't know exactly how they formatted through the Twitter, but I think it was chronological or wherever you
Yeah.
want to start. Give our opinions looking back, because man, they went fast. But
Yeah.
they're still on right now, so I don't know what their hurry was. But let's see, let's pick a category. And then I also have the honorary ones that they're going to be giving out, jotted down in case
Cool.
you were interested for those. But
So you want to start with actress in a supporting role?
actress in a supporting role, the first ones that they announced, looking at them, we had Ariana DeBose, Kirsten Dunst, Jessie Buckley, I can't read the rest of them, Ingenue Ellis, and then Judi Dench.
Yeah.
I don't care for Judi Dench in this role at
Nope.
all. I think you've been calling it the performance where she literally just sits there.
Yep.
And this is no disrespect to Dame Judi Dench at all, but in my opinion, you have, again, like you had mentioned for Passing, you had Ruth Negga that you could have nominated. You had Martha Plimpton in Mass. I will still be shouting for Katherine Hunter in Tragedy of Macbeth. These are all actors where if you're even talking or contemplating that maybe they didn't have enough screen time, I mean, the Judy, that's clearly for the love of Belfast. I would have also loved to have seen Anne Dowd. Marley Matlin, to be honest with you, if Troy was able to get a nom
Yeah.
on his side for Coda, honestly, I would have given it to her. Even between Judi Dench and Kytriona, I would have given it to the mom. I don't understand it. She's the one who's got more meat in the story.
Yeah, same. I mean,
Um,
once we got past Balfi, I thought for sure we wouldn't get a Belfast nomination here, and then we ended up getting Dench. I mean, I don't know. I just find it to be a shame because supporting actress is like such a good batch of contenders this year. Ruth Negga, Marley Matlin, Anne Dowd. Even you want to go down to Rita Moreno in West Side Story.
Yeah, why not? You know,
Katherine Hunter in Tragedy of Macbeth. I don't know. I just think there's just a lot of more interesting options than Judi Dench, who they ended up going with.
with what we got here, though, my best surprise is Jessie Buckley, but I am still rooting for Ariana DeBose. All right, next one.
Costume design. We ended up with Cruella. I think that's Cruella's only nomination. Cyrano, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story. Just the beginning of a bunch of Nightmare Alley nominations. Jeez.
Yeah. And
Um,
this one was also only, what was it, the five? Which one are you going for here? I did not have Cyrano in, I guess, my nominations for it,
I
but
I thought that House of Gucci would get in here, and that was the start
that's
of
what I
House of
had.
Gucci having some trouble today. I still think this is Cruella's category to lose. Like that's the
Same.
one thing about Cruella that I thought was genuinely really good. So
Already has a designer that's won previously, so that's what I had. Dune and then Cruella at number one on
yeah,
there. Okay.
running through sound, we have
Which has been
Belfast.
combined.
Yes, mixing and editing combined now. We have Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story, which means some expected contenders like Tick Tick Boom, A Quiet Place 2, and Spider-Man No Way Home, as well as Last Night in Soho and Matrix Resurrections, another movie that didn't get anything, Matrix. All of those ended up getting blanked here. A little surprised to see Belfast among the sound
I am
nominees. I mean, I guess
tired of seeing Belfast. That makes no sense to me, man. When you have Soho, when you have A Quiet Place Part 2, and you have Tick Tick Boom, all that use sound to a much higher degree, in my opinion, a much better degree. For me, I am going either Power of the Dog or West Side Story. And I love Dunes. I'd be happy to give Dune any nomination. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, I
But
kind of feel like these
Power of the Dog
categories.
uses it best narratively.
I feel like these categories tend to favor the big, loud, blockbustery movies. So I think
So
I would
Dune?
go with Dune here.
Okay.
But
You don't consider West Side Story a little bit of a blockbuster?
it
What
is, and then it also has the musical element, which is another thing that I think sometimes helps in those sound categories. So yeah, maybe West Side has a good chance here.
I don't mind giving it to Dune, though. Give them all to Dune.
Yeah.
All right. Next
Best
category.
best original score. We have Don't Look Up, Dune,
Sure.
Encanto,
Dunes was great. Encanto
Parallel
was-
Mothers, and
course.
Power of the
That was a surprising one.
Dog. Yeah, I mean,
I
this
don't know
is.
if you have a preference.
I mean, I'm happy. Like, I know you don't want to see Don't Look Up get any Oscar nominations, but that's the boy Nicholas
But I'm
Britell.
happy
that-
for Nicholas Britell.
Yeah, exactly. Just pretend he's getting nominated for the Succession theme song.
I wish it were that easy, but yes, I feel you. For me, I am probably still going Power of the Dog on this one. I think it'd be
Same.
really cool to see Greenwood get his due.
Yeah, Greenwood, who has been nominated before and has had some scores deemed ineligible, like that There Will Be Blood score, it probably
Well-
should have an Oscar, but it was not allowed to be nominated, I think.
And here's a very interesting note. The minimum amount of original music required to be eligible in the original score has been reduced from 60% to 35%. When I tell you that I have know of so many submissions that were at the 55, 53,
Right?
now it's up to 35. Yeah, all of those would have been considered. So
Yeah. So let's
little
get
fun fact there for what they changed.
let's give Johnny Greenwood his due in original score.
Yeah, I'm going
Moving
for-
over to adapted screenplay.
Oh,
Coda.
these are fun. These were fun, dude.
Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, The Power of the Dog. Obviously, the thing that we are thrilled and excited and pumping our fists to see is Drive My Car and Reisuke Hamaguchi getting in there. I always feel like
Beautiful.
it's the non-English movies have a disadvantage in the screenplay categories because, like, you have to be able to read them and stuff like that, and it's
And
an
for Drive My
obstacle
Car,
for
it
some
being 3
people.
languages.
Right, exactly. But
One
like,
of them being a sign language. Yeah.
I think anybody who watches that movie is aware of how masterful that script is and how just well written it is. So really cool to see. Definitely one of the more deserving films of the year in screenplay get in there.
What would you have swapped?
I don't know. I mean, I probably would have put something like Passing in there ahead of Lost Daughter. I'm
Really?
not a, yeah.
I would have taken out Coda before Lost Daughter. I was actually kind of happy to see the Lost Daughter. Lost Daughter is a movie that's kind of grown on me
Yeah?
from its performances to its story a little bit more. Over Coda, I feel. So I would have put West Side, Passing, Tick Tick, hell, even Tragedy,
Yeah.
probably before Coda. But it's
I
also
do-
cool to see that. for
Yeah, I
Coda.
mean, I do think that the screenplay for Coda is a little bit underrated, just in the fact that it has to balance this idea of like who can hear and who can't in all
That
these
too.
different moments
Yeah.
too. So I don't know. I kind of liked the Coda screenplay. Yeah, I mean, if anything, Dune. Like, I love Dune, but that's not the reason I love Dune.
I feel you. Yeah, no, that's true. And
Yeah,
I do like the updates that they did with the West Side Story. That's why I think would have been interesting to see a recognition there in terms of its story for passing the way that she was able to adapt that from the novel, and the way that she played with the ending.
yeah,
So I don't know. I still think that that's a really good uh, list right there for adapted screenplay. Power, Drive, Dune,
yeah.
Lost My Daughter, and Coda. So that's
Definitely
pretty
one
good.
of the more solid categories. Then if we
I
go
really like
to
it.
original screenplay, we have Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. I think all our excitement over Worst Person in the World overshadowed how
Everything else.
mediocre this category is. I mean, I'm definitely happy to see my boy PTA in there, and it seems like this might be his first Oscar win in this category. So that's really
Don't say
cool.
win just yet. Don't say win just
I
yet,
mean,
dude.
bro, who's really
Belfast, not
fighting
my.
him here? I think worst person in the world is the only real contender here, unless they were just like obsessed with Adam McKay, which they might
Honestly,
be.
to see. Okay, so first of all, I don't know why I assumed Drive My Car was also in this category, so I was adding that there was a lot more. I guess I really like Worst Person, that I was doubling it up as two really awesome picks in this category.
No, the two different
Uh,
screenplay
yeah,
categories.
two different screenplay categories. Okay, so Belfast, I see absolutely no reason for that to be in there. That is a home video that was submitted for an Oscar nomination. Don't Look Up, this is a joke. Like, what is it Adam McKay's turn now that we're not even giving it to Sorkin? Like, at least give it to Sorkin. I think one of the best little blurps that I've heard for Sorkin was that it really sucks that the great writer Aaron Sorkin has to work with the sucky director Aaron Sorkin. I feel terrible that he's not even getting the pity nom anymore, and it's going
Yeah.
to Adam McKay. I do not understand the Don't Look Up love. King Richard, I think the worst part about it is its script. I think the performances are trying to carry something that the performances are better than the story and the lines that it has been given. Licorice Pizza is fine. That's actually at the top of all the ones that I had just mentioned. In between Licorice Pizza and my top pick that would have been worst person in the world, if you could see my notes, Zach, it goes Licorice Pizza. Zach, tell me why I have 9 days in there that could have gotten a nomination from Sony Pictures
Why? I don't
Features.
understand that.
Bro, I would have given it to 9 days before any of the movies that I've just mentioned to
How
you.
about Mass?
Yes. Bro, I have Red Rocket, Spencer, Jockey, Zachary, the Mitchells and the Machines. Let's grow up here and let's give it to some actual animations as well. Those have screenplays. Zach, Shiva Baby, Annette. I do have Mass up there. I have the screenplay to Pig. I have the screenplay to Parallel Mothers.
Come on,
And
come
then Worst
on.
Person in the World. I did not think that that would get a nomination in there. I really thought it was going to look like this bottom list down here that I have. Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza. Zach, if they would have put Being the Ricardos, this would have been my potty break during the ceremony. But because Worst Person in the World is there, I will be sitting through it, hoping that I hear the man's name right at the end.
Yeah. I definitely
You're
like.
going Licorice though.
I'm definitely going Licorice. I mean, I thought Licorice was great, and you know, a lot of times the Oscars end up doing the like it's time award for somebody, and there's fewer people who I think deserve it more based on what they've already done than Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, that is like one of our great screenwriters, and he does not have a screenplay award yet. So I think, even if Licorice Pizza isn't my favorite of his, I think it's a really good script, and either that or Worst Person in the World is the best script nominated here for sure. So,
Mass should have gotten it. This would have
yeah,
been the one place to put Mass. And Parallel Mothers. Y'all messed up.
yeah.
All right. What's next?
Animated short film, which we haven't seen
Quick
most of
thoughts,
these.
right, yeah.
There's Affairs of the Art, Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin Robin, and The Windshield Wiper. We just caught Bestia at Sundance, and I mean, it's a interesting but messed up little short film.
Alina played it for us, and we're like, why are you playing us this? And now we know it's because she knew that it was going to get nominated for an Oscar.
She had the inside word. Robin Robin is very cute, though. I think that's an Aardman movie, and that one's available on Netflix right now.
We'll try to catch the other ones. It would have been really cool to have seen something like The Musician, Navazande the Musician,
Yeah.
which we really like. That's playing, I believe, on Paramount Plus. That had a really good festival run. And Step Into the River, I thought, was a pretty sad one. But we'll see how the animateds do.
Going over
Live action.
Yeah, live action short film. There's Take and Run, The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, and Please Hold. The Long Goodbye is that Riz Ahmed co-produced one. I think he might
Yeah.
be starring in it. So
I think it's on YouTube as well.
Yeah, so definitely can catch up with that one soon. Actor in a supporting role. I was definitely a bit surprised by some of the some of the choices here. They went with Ciarán Hinds for Belfast, Troy Kotzer for Coda, Jesse Plemons for Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos,
I had that so low, like that wasn't even a. But
and
yeah,
Cody
you know,
Smith McPhee for Power of the Dog. Yeah, I mean J.K. Simmons is the one that I'm really, really surprised by. I mean, I love J.K. I guess the Academy does too because
I
he
had
was
him over
nowhere
James.
near my list here. I
Yeah.
and it also would be one thing if they ended up giving a lot of love to Being the Ricardos. If tell me if I'm wrong, but I think those 3 acting nominations are the only awards that it ended up picking up.
I think so. But that's what I'm saying. That's not even the strongest aspect of the movie. I don't know. That a Sorkin project, I'm usually not thinking that that's going to be the biggest part of it. But hey, I am personally glad we did not have Jared Leto. I don't know what clip would have played right at the beginning to have seen him say anything for his bit. So I'm just glad that he is out. Personally, I think Jamie did more than Hines in Belfast. Either way, I would have had performances like Richard Jenkins in The Humans. I would have put that in
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Robin de Jesus and Tick Tick Boom, I thought had some really good set pieces that he had to do alongside Andrew Garfield. But a lot of the other ones that I had, Corey Hawkins, Tragedy of Macbeth,
Mm.
David Alvarez, West Side Story, Vincent Linden, Titane. I think that man gave it his
Hmm.
all. He was going crazy in there. If we were giving some love to the worst person in the world cast, I would have given it to Anders.
Yeah.
And then I have a mass pick here as well. Jason Isaacs would have perfectly fit in the top 5,
Yep.
along with Mike Faust and Coleman Domingo, who sadly did not get it. But it's Cody Smith McPhee's to lose.
Yeah.
Him all the way.
Just
Who
a
do you-
shame we can't get our boy Mike Feist in there.
You don't think there'd be a surprise win here? Like goes to Troy?
I do think this is a definitely. This is not a sealed category, even though a lot of people think that Smith McPhee has been the
It
front runner
should
for
be.
a while. I think that this could be one of those situations where that I've talked about in the past. The Oscars sometimes like to give one award to like to give a film an award in one category as a way of sort of being like, okay, we liked you as a movie, and I would not be surprised if Troy Kotzer kind of is the like, okay, Coda, we see you, we like
be
you, you're a
remembered.
cool movie, you know. So I think Troy is definitely a big threat to Cody's chances, particularly because Cody is now nominated alongside a castmate who's going to potentially split votes with him.
True. Cody gonna send him a rope as a congratulations gift.
Yeah. But yeah, not my favorite collection of actors considering how strong that category is.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we at? We were at supporting actor.
Mm-hmm.
So then let's go to film editing, which is Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, The Power of the Dog, and Tick Tick Boom. I have been redeemed. Don't Look Up is a Oscar-worthy movie in terms of its editing. I was right. You were wrong. Do you want to apologize to me now?
No. Absolutely not, bro.
What did you want to
that
see
is
get in here that
disgusting.
didn't get in here? I'm a little surprised that Licorice Pizza didn't get in here. I thought that was a
Alright,
really
let me
well edited
Make sure
movie.
I have them all. Power of the Dog, King Richard, Tick Tick Boom. What am I missing here? Dune. Oh, Don't Look Up. I still can't process. I did not have that written in here at all. I cannot comprehend that. Zach, I'll take Licorice. Zach, I'll take West Side Story. There was one movie that I wanted to get 2 technical awards. Last Night in Soho didn't pick up anything. You can call it cuckoo clock editing all you want, Zach, but the French Dispatch delivered it what it needed to be. I'll take Spencer. That editing made it so spooky. Fantastic. It was great.
Yeah, I don't think we have taken a second to talk about the French Dispatch getting blanked yet. And like I came onto this podcast and I was like, this is not one of the best Wes Anderson movies. It's just fine. Even I'm a little bit like, why isn't it getting nothing? Like production design at least. What movie is more immaculately designed than a Wes Anderson movie?
Really quick, I'm just gonna jump ahead for directors, bro. He was in my top 10. I was looking at it. I was like, why would I not put him with? Man, screw this. I put him in my top 10. It's Wes Anderson, guys. Come on. Nothing. How is a man making Belfast about his childhood and can pick up anything, yet Wes Anderson over here made an entire empirical picture that I think is 20 times the quality of what Belfast is. Completely shut out. That's embarrassing to me. Zach, I also take The Green Knight. I'll take the editing and passing, especially towards the ending. I thought it did a beautiful job. I thought the editing in The Lost Daughter was also kind of interesting. It's one of the reasons why I've been thinking back on the story, especially the way that she cuts against the book.
A
Zach, I'll
lot.
take the editing in Belfast over Don't Look Up.
Come on. Now you're just angry.
I swear to you, I'll take the editing in Belfast. The one time I would have loved to have seen Belfast be mentioned, and it's not.
Look, I get the frustration with the Don't Look Up award. There's a lot of people in the live stream making their frustration with Don't Look Up being here known. I think that Don't Look Up is edited exactly the way they're trying to have it edited. I think it is unique. I think it stands out. It is a style all of its own. I don't know if it's my favorite. I definitely don't hope it wins here, but I get it, I guess.
No, there is a category every year where someone saw the dailies, so they nominate the editor because they're like, you know what, shout out to you, man.
The Bohemian Rhapsody editing award.
Even being able to complete it and submit it. Congratulations to you. That's what that award is.
Hollywood likes this movie, man. Don't get surprised when it does pretty well at the Oscars.
All right, what we got next though?
Makeup.
Tell me I'm wrong. They've expanded this category a little bit.
Yeah, I think last year it was only 3 nominees.
Yep.
So we got Coming to America, the only nomination for Coming to America. Cruella, one of its 2 nominations. Dune, one of its many technical nominations. The Eyes of Tammy Faye, I think this is one of its 2 nominations. And then House of Gucci picking up, I think, one of 3 nominations here.
Surprising. With all the tech stuff that Nightmare Alley was getting, I was surprised that it didn't go there. I guess the Rami Malek makeup did not do what it needed for No Time to Die. But honestly, I would have swapped out Cruella here for West Side Story. I think considering what they had to perform in the heat they had to perform in and all the sweat, and they talked about like digitally CGIing stuff out, just the ability to have all that makeup on them, on the performers while they're out in the heat dancing. I don't know, I think that would have been a technical achievement for them. I would have put that in over Cruella as well as the Nightmare Alley stuff, but I don't know. It would have been cool to see Suicide Squad get a nomination. So then that becomes like the Suicide Squad lore that it will always get a nomination at the Oscars for Best Hair and Makeup. But
yeah, that's pretty funny.
I think it's Tammy Faye's to lose here.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like Best Makeup and Hairstyling is a most makeup and hairstyling category, but that doesn't necessarily mean like they're wrong. I feel like Tammy Faye, they're doing a lot here, so I'm pretty okay with that one ending, becoming the front runner.
Permanently scarred her, and she's okay now. The next one that we have is animated feature film. What would you have had in here?
Well, so the nominees are Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon, which kind of are the front runners. The thing that I was trying to express when we were talking about this as it was going is that I think every year you get some exciting foreign animated films or more like art house animated films. These are all, except for Flea, very like family friendly studio produced things. Like, I'm really glad Flea is in there, and I kind of expect it's going to win. But I would have liked to have seen, like you mentioned, the types of Crypto Zoo type of movies, Spine of Night type of movies, Belle, movies like that are not necessarily these like $100 million CGI spectacle types of animated movies that 4 out of the 5 here are.
What would you, off the top, what would you have put
instead? Probably
mine's
Belle.
Raya. Raya's getting booted.
Oh, you mean booting Raya? Yeah, I'd probably boot Raya here. I didn't love Luca, but I still think Raya's probably the worst in the category.
Some other good ones. It would have been cool to see Wish Dragon from Sony. Crypto Zoo, another more adult one. Spine of Night was a personal favorite. Hell, I'll take Sing 2 over Raya. But I thought the rest were pretty good. Still going.
Somebody's going to take Sing 2 over Raya.
Someone has to step up.
Yeah.
I'm still going Mitchell's, but I can see Flea taking it.
Yeah.
I don't want Encanto to win, surprisingly. The only thing I'm rooting for Encanto is the music, which, look at that, we're here. Original song, Zach. I am still going Dos Oruguitas, but I just... The James Bond train doesn't die. I don't
Nope.
think they will ever lose. It's all a part of the machine. When they're orchestrating who's going to write the song, they're already writing the speech for them. So I don't see any surprises here. I will say though, Beyonce had the King Richard song, right?
Right.
And then Jay-Z had the Harder They Fall song, so he did not get the nom, but she did, if I'm not mistaken.
Shows you who's the powerful one in that marriage.
She's gotten several nominations in the past as well too. The thing is, I don't know if she secured the win. That's the big thing there.
Yeah, so we'll see if she has a chance this year.
Can you read off the 5 nominees?
For a
please?
short subject?
Not for short subject, but for the songs, just really quick.
Oh, okay, so we have Be Alive for King Richard, Dos Oruguitas for Encanto, Down to Joy for Belfast, No Time to Die from No Time to Die, and Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days. I saw somebody in the live stream ask what 4 Good Days is. That is the Mila Kunis Glenn Close addiction
bought
drama that I think
It's on
played
Hulu right now.
Sundance like 2 years ago. Yeah, it's on Hulu now.
We got okay, so I bought an Oscar nominee. Now I know. Really? Damn. That's a surprise pick for it right there at the end. Out of all the other stuff, I think it would have been really interesting to see Annette. I think that
Yeah, that would've been cool.
So May We Start? If that would have gone
Get a
nominated,
Sparks
there would've been
performance
more
at
of
the
a chance.
Oscars.
Right at the beginning. Like what better way to start the
Yeah.
Oscars than
This is how you
So
know
May
the
We
Academy
Start?
isn't smart.
They're dumb. Okay, what else we got?
I'm also going to go with No Time to Die in this category. Okay.
You just have to.
Documentary short subject. We have Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 3 songs for Benazir, and When We Were Bullies. I think the only one that either of us caught in this category was When We Were Bullies,
We Were
which played
Bullies.
at the Tribeca Film Festival, and I thought was pretty cool. So, I guess I'm rooting for it, but with these shorts, they usually end up putting them online. So I'm gonna go and try and gather the links later today, and maybe pay attention to my Twitter. I'll try and send them all out. Yassine in the live stream comments is saying this is Beyonce's first Oscar nomination.
Really? Nothing for Dreamgirls or any of that?
Nope, not in for Dreamgirls. That was Jennifer
Sheesh.
Hudson got the Dreamgirls love.
Nothing for the song? Wow.
Nope. Documentary feature. We have Ascension, Attica, Flea, Summer of Soul, and Writing with Fire. I was trying to say this as we were going along, but 3 out of the 5 nominees here premiered at Sundance 2021. So, yeah, maybe a good idea to pay attention to that Sundance documentary
those
slate. Maybe
docs,
Tabitha
it's
Jackson
almost-
doing some good things.
It's almost like she was a doc coordinator prior to that.
Mhm.
The only one we're missing here is Attica. That's the only one I have not had the chance to catch. I believe they now have kind of like virtual links for that. But this was a very stacked category. I am rooting right now for Summer of Soul or Flea. But Riding with Fire was one that we highly recommended since Sundance. Ascension, I believe, played at Tribeca, if not South by. And I think we were both blown away by that doc. That is playing right now on Paramount.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, which is over on HBO, was a fantastic doc. I would have loved to see some love for that. For President, which we thought was just gripping as well. Obviously, y'all know I love Billie Eilish's doc that's over on Apple. That would have been really interesting to see her doc and then also have the nomination for the No Time to Die. Julia was another good one. But, yeah, no, I think it's a pretty stacked list.
Ryan Lee is saying
we got.
Ryan Lee is saying Attica is on Showtime, so you can go check that one out soon.
I have Showtime.
There
Beautiful.
we go. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely
Ryan.
some surprises here. I really enjoyed the Velvet Underground documentary, and that one came from Todd Haynes. So sometimes when you get that big director attached to it, I feel like that gives it a boost. But maybe there's only room for one music documentary this year. Magnitude in the comments is mentioning The Rescue. Yeah, I thought The Rescue was thrilling, and that also comes from the makers of Free Solo. I'm a little bit surprised that one doesn't get in there. Heard a lot of really good things about Procession, which is on Netflix, and that one didn't end up getting in there.
I don't know. I like what we got. Because I think they're all good, and I'm pretty sure once I catch Attica over on Showtime, that I'm going to enjoy that one as well. So
I mean, the
that's
short
pretty-
list was stacked this year in documentary.
It's pretty good.
All right, so visual effects.
Visual effects. I'm upset, Zach.
Well, are you more upset that this is Free Guy getting into the Oscars, or Spider-Man No Way Home's only nomination tonight?
Look, I'm not upset with Free Guy. Free Guy can get its thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was practically a ping pong machine
Also,
or pinball machine
Dune,
up on.
Shang-Chi, and No Time to Die here.
Yeah, look, I don't understand the Shang-Chi stuff. I think that's the one common thing that even fans of the movie have talked down against. It's that the third act effects are not that good.
Yeah.
I think that's why Black Widow was not nominated here. I was not saying anything for Eternals or Ghostbusters, but damn, bro, Godzilla vs. Kong could have taken any of these spots right here. In my opinion, it's going to Dune. I don't think anyone's had better effects with the sand screens and just, the overall visuals that they were able to bring in with Dune and its ratio. But come on, man, Godzilla vs. Kong, oh, that's disappointing. Yeah. That would have been almost even a win for me, to be honest with you, in terms of
Yeah.
VFX. That whole movie's a VFX play.
That's the
It's a
thing
whole
is
platter.
I like, I do kind of feel like Godzilla versus Kong, like that movie, it
It's a
only
bacchanal of
works
effects,
because
man.
the effects work, whereas a lot of these other movies, if anything, are like pulled down because of their
That's the worst
CGI.
part, is when you cut to the effects, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Spider-Man's, I guess, was also fine for Doc Ock, considering he had it on the whole time. I don't get
Yeah,
the
but
no
it
time
looked
to
worse
die.
than it did in 2002. So what are we really doing here?
Amen. Amen. Yeah. Dude. Dune all the way, then.
Yeah, so I would also probably go Dune in the visual effects category. Cinematography.
All right, yeah, let's get into this one right here, because this was one of the ones that blew by way too fast. Read them out
Yeah.
loud.
So we have Dune. We have Nightmare Alley. We
So
have
surprised.
The Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth,
Wow.
and West Side Story.
Wow. I would have loved to have seen Green Knight here. This was the category that I really wanted to see it, and I think it is just absolutely stunning film. Same thing with Worst Person in the World. I think that would have been a really cool one to get some love in terms of a cinematography award. And then the whole rest of the list. I think Spencer, Passing. Honestly, Red Rocket. I think every single one of his movies that he shot, he always brings something special to
Yep.
the table. Annette, The Harder They Fall. Come On would have been one of my personal black and white picks of the year.
Yeah.
Tragedy does beat it, though. Tragedy does beat it. And I'm not counting Nightmares, black and white.
But that's another thing. There were all these black and white movies this year, and only one ends up making the cut in Tragedy of Macbeth.
And to be honest with you, this would have been another category where I would have had Belfast. It's still bottom, but I would have had the cinematography in Belfast is one of the standouts of the movie, and I still don't even think it's the biggest standout of the movie. But between Dune, Nightmare, Power, Tragedy, and West Side, I can go any way here, to be honest with you. I love all of them. I think Dune obviously looks beautiful, traveled all the way to see it in its proper format. I think Power of the Dog has some of the best narrative storytelling in its cinematography. Tragedy of Macbeth, every single frame is a picture. Every single frame is a damn picture. And I believe West Side is your favorite?
I mean, it's a really beautifully shot film.
Movement, blocking, colors, you can't go wrong with this category.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not a
I
bad
think I would
list.
go
It's
with
a beautiful list.
I think I would go with West Side, even though I don't necessarily think it's the front runner here. I kind of think that Dune might be the front runner, actually. So
I'm actually
interesting.
happy with anything winning here. But I would have swapped probably Nightmare for Green Knight, just to
I-
give that some love. And
I
that would have
agree
been a
with you.
perfect category.
I would have swapped Nightmare for Green Knight, or even like a Licorice Pizza, something
But I
like
can't
that.
complain. I can't
Yeah.
complain. That's pretty decent.
Production design. We have Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. I'm pretty happy with this collection of nominees. Outside of the lack of love for French Dispatch, I kind of feel like you could have put French Dispatch in there ahead of maybe even any of these films. Tell you the truth. But if we're talking about which movie I think should win, I mean, I think The Tragedy of Macbeth looks unreal. That movie is gorgeous, and a lot of it comes down to the way that they built those sets and kind of some of the sparing details in them, but how ominous that whole movie looks. I really liked how The Tragedy of Macbeth was designed, so I would go with that one here, even though I feel like Dune is the front runner.
Same. I'm going Power of the Dog. I want to say West Side, but the worst part about West Side's production design is when they made it too big and there wasn't enough people on the street, and you're like, this is a set, bro. That's the worst part about it, but the production design of West Side is so damn good, especially
Yeah.
in the beginning. I am actually going to go Power of the Dog. I like what they did with the ranch there, the way that they
Yep.
had the whole thing functioning, the just sets that they were able to use in Australia.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna go
or
with
New
that.
Zealand, I think.
Uh-huh. Sorry, New Zealand, my bad. I thought they did a beautiful job with it. My thing will still be, though, that if Dune wins everything, I don't mind. I want to bet against Dune just so I could be pleasantly surprised
Right.
at every win that
Then you win either
I'm
way.
snatching up. I win it either way, exactly.
Yeah. Going into international feature film. What a collection here. Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Lunana, a yak in the classroom, and
Watching
The Worst
immediately.
Person in the World. I mean, I think we're satisfied. We got the two that we really wanted to see get in here, Drive My Car and The Worst Person in the World. Now I think those movies get to fight over which one will end up winning this category. I personally did not want to see Flea in here just because I figured it would get into animated, and I thought that the the short list was just so stacked with interesting films. I would have loved to have seen Prayers for the Stolen or Hive or Compartment Number 6 sneak in here instead. But
Bro.
given what we got, what do you think the frontrunner is?
The front runner for these right here, I am going to say is Drive My Car, considering that that is the one that
Yeah.
ended up getting a Best Picture nomination. I think that's usually how we come down to the math of it. Just because of this year, I'm going to say maybe something surprising will happen, and then we'll have to do the math later and realize, like, oh yeah, that was a possibility. But so far, I feel like it's going to have to be Drive My Car. The biggest surprise, obviously, Lunana, a yak in the classroom. Shout out Bhutan, bro. That's great. Fantastic
That's awesome.
for y'all. I agree with you on the Fleet thing, so let's talk about that for a bit.
Yeah.
In terms of it being in the animated one, are we worried that this is a movie they may snatch up the nomination or the win for animated film?
I mean, I kind of feel like,
I
you
don't have
know,
a problem with it. I'd
the-
rather it go to Flea than Encanto.
that's the thing is like
not
I
individual.
wonder I'm debating whether or not the fact that it is like the only art house animated movie there helps or hurts it, right? Like maybe that means that all of the art house fans will vote for Flea instead of the other four movies, or maybe people just kind of expect, Pixar or Disney or DreamWorks style animation for that category.
Yeah, because like I'm looking at Flea and it's really cool when it's able to double up like that. Usually we see it between it being international doc, or sometimes even international best feature.
Mhm.
But for it to go international animated, I feel like it's got a better chance in animated for some reason
Same.
than it would have in international.
Well, like
But
it's
yeah,
it's so much more important than the rest of the animated films, and I don't know if I would say it's more important than the
that's a
rest
good
of the
point.
international
Yeah,
films.
yeah, you're judging it from that perspective.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, dude. I know you didn't get to catch Great Freedom, which is about to come out in a couple of weeks. That would be another one to get up
Mhm.
there. I was absolutely blown away by Compartment Number 6. Love that movie.
Yeah.
I know you didn't want Lamb, bro, but you had a good amount between I'm Your Man, Lamb,
Yeah.
Hero, which is on Prime.
Magnitude
But
is
I'm
asking.
with you with the prayers.
Magnitude is asking in the live stream, what is the yak film? So Lunana,
We're gonna
a
find out
yak
with
in
you.
the classroom. Yeah, we haven't seen this one yet, but I'm kind of excited to. It's only the second film ever submitted from the country of Bhutan, and I think the first film they submitted in 23 years, something like that. And that last film
Damn.
they submitted ended up nominated for an Oscar. So right now, the country of Bhutan has a pretty sick track record when it comes to submitting films for the International Film Oscar.
Good for them.
Yeah. All right, getting into some of the last big categories. Let's go with Best Actor. The nominees are Javier Bardem, Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Garfield, Will Smith, and Denzel Washington. Interesting fun fact about Will Smith is that this is the third time he's been nominated for an Oscar, and the only two other times he was nominated for an Oscar, he lost to fellow black actors. So he has a chance to go 3 for 3 if he loses this one to Denzel. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. It kind of feels like he's the front runner heading into
think
this
this is
year's
the one?
Oscar ceremony.
Okay. You think this is his? You don't think there's gonna be any surprises?
I would not be surprised by Benedict Cumberbatch ultimately taking this. I think there's a lot of love for him.
Really?
I think he's kind of one of those actors that people have been waiting to kind of crown as, he's worthy. He's one of our great thespians. I don't know if this is the role that's going to do it, but I'm not counting him out. Not yet.
Okay. I am hoping for Will Smith. I don't think he is the best one, but in terms of the nominations that we have here, if someone was to get a legacy one, I don't think this is a bad one for Will Smith. I would love that for him. Obviously, my favorite is Andrew Garfield. I think he deserves it out of this bunch the most.
You and
I would
Devesh.
love to see his name called out. That would be a perfect ending to his year.
Yeah.
I don't understand Javier Bardem.
Yeah, that's the
Denzel
one.
is more than welcome here. I don't understand Javier Bardem, and I think he was one of the best parts of that movie. I like his nom more than I like JK's nom. Definitely more than I like what's her name's nom.
Judi
But I
Dench.
don't get it here. No, not Judi Dench. What's her name for Ricardo's as well?
Oh,
who were
Nicole
up against her.
Kidman.
Yeah, but I do not get in a category where you could have had Hidetoshi from Drive My Car.
Mm.
I know Nicolas Cage from Pig was never gonna make it, but you had Simon Rex for Red Rocket.
Joaquin Phoenix for Come On, Come
Joaquin
On.
Phoenix for Come On, Come On.
If
I
they
don't know.
if they love Nightmare Alley so much, why not Bradley Cooper?
Also, if they like Don't Look Up so much, why not Leo? I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't get the Bardem performance getting in there, especially because being the Ricardos didn't do as well as I think some of us were expecting it to. But
Exactly. So, I don't know.
yeah, going into the actress in a leading role, the nominees are Jessica Chastain, Olivia Colman, Penelope Cruz, Nicole Kidman, and Kristen Stewart. We did it. Twilight Hive brought us to this moment.
Yep.
And it almost didn't happen. She missed out on the SAGs. She missed out on the BAFTAs. I didn't give up hope. I knew
Well,
she'd be
you're still
here.
not there. You're still not there. It's got to go through. It still has to go through.
I still don't think she's gonna win. I think the nomination is kind of her award here. I still think this is Chastain, maybe Coleman's to lose.
I am going for anybody but Nicole Kidman. That's it. That's it.
What do you think about Lady Gaga not getting in here despite her aggressive campaigning?
I think it's sad. Yeah, I think it's a little sad for her with all the amount of pressure that she put. Like, Olivia Colman didn't even raise a finger this entire press run.
Right.
And she got a nomination, whereas what's her name was talking about getting exorcisms after her performances and all the help that she needed. And tonight,
Yeah, maybe she was just a little bit too extra in her campaigning for this award.
Well, I think that's why the New York critics gave what they needed, because they knew that it was going to be a underseen performance, I suppose. But hey, if that's what needed to go because of the Jared Leto performance, then that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm very upset. Amy Adams, no Best Actress for Woman in the Window. I guess it didn't work.
Are there any people you actually are surprised about or like upset about here? I was really holding on to hope that Alana Haim would crack that top 5, and
I didn't see it happening. Because like she goes in, then that's no Penelope, in my opinion.
I was surprised to see Penelope get in here. I think Tushar asked us what we thought of her performance, and I'd mentioned on a previous Intercut, like, I love Penelope as an actress. I didn't think that Parallel Mothers is necessarily like the best role she's had. Yeah.
No, but I still think it was a really good performance, and I would put it above a couple of the other ones, to be honest with you.
So yeah, interesting collection here. I still feel like this is Jessica's to lose. If we move over to the Best Director category, we have Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Ryusuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, and Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Despite all of its nominations, no love for Denis Villeneuve.
That makes
and
no
Dune.
sense to me, dude.
Yeah, a little bit surprising here. I guess they're saying like we like the sum of your parts, or like the parts but not so much the sum of it, or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they
Literally
did give it
the
the Best Picture nomination too, but
that makes no sense to me considering how important the directing is to that, especially the whole vision that they have going for it. It's almost like in every nomination that they honored it, they were telling you how important the entire vision was, and then in the most important category of the ship, you nominated the entire ship for its entire cast and crew and everything it does, and then you nominate the captain. Makes no sense. But I am obviously rooting Jane Campion all the way in this one. I love seeing the Ryusuke nomination.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Spielberg, rightfully so. Paul Thomas Anderson is fine in my book.
I think
Kenneth Branagh makes no sense.
Yeah.
He was my second to last. The only person who beats him, can you guess?
To Adam McKay. I mean, I'm happy to see the PTA nomination here. I kind of hope that when he wins for Best Director, it's for one of his all-time classic movies, which I'm not sure Licorice Pizza is like top 5 for me or anything like that. Steven Spielberg has won this award, and I love West Side Story. I don't know if it's like this undeniable thing that he needs to win the Best Directing prize for. I thought Power of the Dog is solid, and Jane Campion's a great filmmaker. It'd be really cool to see her get this award, but I will be pulling for Ryosuke Hamaguchi. I thought Drive My Car is a remarkable movie, and it's cool to see him break through here in a way that I don't know if everybody was fully expecting. I doubt he will win, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that enough people are enchanted by that movie. But yeah, I agree with you. No reason that Kenneth Branagh should be here for Belfast. Let's sneak Denis back in here. Let's sneak Joel Cohen in for Tragedy of Macbeth. Let's sneak in, definitely Mike Mills for Come On, Come On, or Simon Baker for Red Rocket. A whole bunch of people.
I had Simon Baker on the list too. I would have had. Let me see who else I had here, man. Bro, give me Joaquin Trier for Worst Person in the World. Give me Wes Anderson. Give me Tatiana Hueso from Prayers for the Stolen. Give me a Julia. Can you get nominated for a movie that's international if it was not submitted?
I mean, technically you can, but I feel like that's an uphill battle. Look at all the love Parallel Mothers got, despite not getting Spain's approval.
True. Okay, great point then. Then Pedro, I would have put Pedro in there.
Yeah.
So many other people.
I don't think Pedro's ever been nominated for Best Director. That's another tragedy.
Bro, I would have given it to Pablo Larraín. I would have given it to Joe Cohen. Hell, I would have given it to the director of Flea, Jonas Poor. I would have given it to, I don't know, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Anybody. I don't know. I don't get the Kenneth Branagh love, but I knew this going in.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is at a certain point,
it's the third most.
It becomes hard to deny. Yeah, I mean, the thing that is kind of interesting here is, like, usually there's one main Oscars villain, and I think Belfast and Don't Look Up have done a good job of, like, sharing the love equally. Like, neither is more awarded, that much more heavily awarded than the other.
So, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah. All right, let's do the last and biggest category. Let's go to the Best Picture nominees. Some surprises in the end. We have
I like it.
Belfast, Coda,
Sucks.
Don't
Decent.
Look Up,
Oh.
Drive My Car,
Beautiful.
Dune, King
Masterpiece.
Richard,
All right.
Licorice Pizza,
Okay.
Nightmare Alley,
Wow.
Power of the Dog, and
course.
West Side Story. Art, what is your biggest surprise from the Best Picture category?
Nightmare Alley. I was actually really surprised at the way it was picking up steam. We kept discussing when the big fight, the big war of December was happening between Spider-Man and cinemas, and who was going to win out, who was going to be able to sell the most tickets, who was even going to get access to the screen, and Nightmare Alley was losing that battle. Not only was it losing the battle, but Guillermo, the winner of Best Director and Best Picture of just mere couple of years ago, his last film, what it would have been. His movie's not being seen by anybody. And then on top of that, the movie that's beating you out because that company bought it out is trying to push for Best Picture. What a slap in the face for Guillermo that might have been.
Yeah.
But did you ever hear Guillermo pull a Tarantino and complain about what Disney was doing?
No.
His movie? Not a peep. He was out there pushing that movie. He was out there pushing Antlers. He was out there
man
pushing
just
his
makes Pinocchio movies and moves
He just makes
on.
his movie and that's it, right? Look at it win at the end. No Spider-Man here, but Nightmare Alley getting its re-release in theaters, which is really great that it's still finding its screens. It's now out there in black and white, and it's streaming on Hulu, and it's streaming on HBO. Biggest surprise. And I think that's even bigger than Drive, because Drive, that thing shifted into gear and was getting nominations left and right.
I mean,
I was not.
The second that Drive My
Drive.
Car got that director nomination, I think we were comfortable that it was going to get in for Best Picture. Like, it'd be shocking if it got a director nomination, not a picture.
Into this live stream, even going into this day, we had a lot of people discussing it. Something like Worst Person, Flea, those would have been international picks that would have been surprising to see here. Like, we're kind of rooting for Drive My Car. That's awesome to see. Nightmare is the coolest one. I still think it is West Side or Power of the Dogs. Power of the Dogs, in terms of what I truly feel is the best one out of this category. West Side, in terms of what I feel is the most move to make. Like, why wouldn't the Oscars nominate yet again a movie like this? Plus, it would be almost like a double history happening there if West Side wins Best Picture again, and then their supporting also goes to the same portrayal, the same character again for Best Supporting. But
yeah,
I don't know, maybe it goes differently.
It would be interesting. I ultimately feel like West Side Story is maybe just not exciting enough of a pick to win, but it's not an Oscars with a lot of very like exciting standout movies. I mean, a lot of people think the front runner right now is a Power of the Dog, and that's not exactly a movie that's going to grab voters by the throat and demand they vote for it.
Grab him by the rope.
I'm a little bit worried that this is going to be a Belfast year, because that's just like
Don't say that,
a
bro.
charming, pleasant movie. Man, it's really up in the air. I've been seeing a lot of people saying that Don't Look Up is probably gonna gain some steam as they keep pushing the whole like, oh, this is the climate change movie, and if you don't care about this movie, you don't care about climate change stuff.
I don't see it. Look, I think you are right about the Belfast one, sadly. I don't think Coda's going to get anything. Our big surprise for Coda, I feel, is going to be in acting. Our big surprise in Don't Look Up is even that it's here. For Drive, I think it's getting international. Dune will get a lot of the technical stuff, but I'm always glad to be surprised. King Richard, I'm hoping, takes the acting. Licorice Pizza, like you said, should take the screenwriting. Nightmare, I'm just happy it's there. I am saying Power the Dog, West Side Story is the best possible scenario here, because then you are right. It goes to Belfast. Did Belfast win TIFF? Because if it won TIFF, we know that there's like a record there of a movie winning that audience thing at TIFF and then coming in and snatching up Best Picture. It did it with Green Book. It did it with a couple of the other ones that won there as well.
Yeah.
So
it did win that audience award.
That'd be lame though. Imagine having a fantastic night of winners and then like Belfast.
Yeah.
Caps. I don't know.
What
I would
movie?
rather have a West Side Story win.
What movie are you most surprised didn't get the Best Picture nomination here? Because some people thought this was a Tick, Tick, Boom, or Being the Ricardos, maybe even The Tragedy of Macbeth would sneak into that 10th slot there. We had a few nominations for The Lost Daughter, a couple for House of Gucci, a couple more for Parallel Mothers, even Worst Person in the World, and they didn't get in there.
Do you have one?
I mean, I kind of expected Tick, Tick, Boom. I felt like it was gathering steam, but then as the awards started coming out, like it wasn't really getting any of the below the line stuff. I still think it's weird that Being the Ricardos has 3 acting nominations and nothing else.
That is a little weird too.
Yeah.
Because of who it's coming from.
Yeah.
So,
it's not so much because I like think it's so good it needs to be there. It's just like it's an Aaron Sorkin movie about Hollywood icons. Like why aren't you taking this catnip, you know?
I guess for me, the ones that it would have, I still can't believe Don't Look Up is up there. That's so, like Zach, it's every minute it's going to dawn on me how stupid of a pick that is. But you're right. Tick, Tick, Boom, Tragedy of Macbeth.
Yep.
I would have put Spider-Man No Way Home over Don't Look Up. I would have.
Come on, man. Get out of
Don't
here.
Look Up, take out Belfast. Take out Coda. Put in Black Widow. Put in No Way Home, and give me free guy.
Mega Movies mentions that Tick, Tick, Boom did pick up that editing nomination. Very surprising, because a lot of time editing goes hand in hand with Best Picture.
We'll
so
see.
yeah.
I mean, it's one of my favorites of the year, and I had it tied with Power of the Dog. So of course I would love to see it up there, but.
Yeah. Another interesting thing to circle back to Nightmare Alley, I guess this is Guillermo's first film since Shape of Water, which, reminder, won Best Picture. So maybe there's a little bit of just like he's an Academy favorite, and the Oscar voters don't want to let go of him that quickly, even if Nightmare wasn't his best movie. But I don't know, a lot of really interesting choices. You know, let's ring some bells for Come On, Come On, and Mass, and some of our other favorites that ended up getting blanked. What other movies RIP to their Oscar chances as of this morning? Passing. The Last Duel. We haven't even brought up The Last Duel yet. My man Ridley.
Last Duel getting no love.
He entered with 2 contenders, and neither picks up the Best Picture nomination.
Wait, the House of Gucci didn't even get anything at all, did it?
I mean, it got a couple nominations, but none of the big ones.
What did it get?
I think it got like costume and makeup and hairstyling.
I don't think it got any of those either.
No, it did. It's in there twice.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm already forgetting that House of Gucci picked up anything. Yeah.
I think this is a case against the late release strategy that Cyrano is trying.
Yeah, no, Cyrano's just bust. I don't know why they decided to go for that. I feel like out of the ones that have gotten the most picks, I'm very confident in Dune going into the ceremony. I am hoping that Power of the Dog doesn't get shut out going into it. Just all things considered, that it can go either way. Like if you're telling me that you're hoping that director goes another way, I can see the love being for Drive My Car over what would be Power of the Dog. If it loses its acting, if it loses its screenwriting, I have more faith that Dune will be able to pick up more technicals. I am still worried that Belfast will be picking up too much.
Yeah.
I feel like Belfast had 7 nominations that it was like possible for. I feel like 7's a lot. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's just me.
It's a lot.
I feel like
It's
7's
definitely a
too
lot.
much. But yeah,
Um,
how's you feeling?
sorry?
How's you feeling about the awards? What else do you think got snubbed? What else are you hoping
I mean,
does well?
People are bringing up French Dispatch and Green Knight and Red Rocket, some of the more interesting movies this year that didn't get in.
Mass as well.
Mass, yeah. I don't know. A lot of interesting stuff. I feel like this year a lot of the contenders are sort of like accepted prestige movies and not necessarily like the challenging ones. Like I know obviously Titan didn't get that didn't get France's selection this year, but generally speaking, I think there's like a move away from those sort of potentially off-putting movies like that and into the more easy to celebrate stuff, if that's easy to say. Like even for something like Licorice Pizza, which is probably the like least offensive Paul Thomas Anderson movie that he's made. Like I feel like this is kind of like for the most part, it's a nice Oscars. Like I feel pretty easy recommending most of these movies to people, even if some of them are downers. But I don't know. There's not a whole lot of like offbeat selections, I feel like, this year.
Yeah. Pretty decent. From my count for what I have here, I see Power of the Dog, I think, picked up the most. They got 12, which is...
I got the totals in front of me, actually.
Sheesh. Go for them, bro.
We have Being the Ricardos, Coda, Encanto, Flea, Licorice Pizza, Lost Daughter, No Time to Die, and Tragedy of Macbeth, all picking up 3 nominations.
Wow.
Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Nightmare Alley, all picked up 4. King Richard, surprisingly, ended up with 6. West Side Story and Belfast end up with 7. Dune...
It's too much for Belfast.
Dune with 10, despite no Best Director nomination. And Power of the Dog, like you mentioned, at the top with 12.
I believe the record is 14, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of nominations. So pretty high up there for Power of the Dog. Really happy with that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Definitely would have liked them to spread the love out a little bit more. I mean, I think we're seeing some movies that are not necessarily the best contenders in their category getting nominated because they're getting nominated in a bunch of other categories, you know?
Who besides Belfast, though? I think Power of the Dog deserves every nomination it got. I can't name you one category where it doesn't deserve to be in there. I'll fight you. I don't care how early it is.
I mean, I don't know if... I forget which one... Like, I don't know if we needed Dune and Screenplay and stuff like that, man.
Does it hurt?
It does when it leaves out movies like The Green Knight.
Well, not necessarily when somebody else can get booted out for that was adapted. Yeah, you take Coda out. Green Knight wasn't even shortlisted.
I don't know. I just feel like some of these movies don't necessarily deserve the 6 or the 7s or even the 3s when you have movies like Mass and movies like Come On, Come On with 0.
For sure. I think you could take out a couple from No Time to Die. I think you could take out a couple from Coda, personally. I don't think Being the Ricardos needs to be here at all. You could have fit a couple more acting ones in there. Still surprised about Nightmare Alley coming in right there in the middle. Yeah, surprisingly. Fantastic for Drive My Car. That's pretty good for there. But also just looking at the fact that Worst Person also scored 2. That's pretty decent. Like, that's not bad. Because we were kind of worried that it wasn't even going to get 1. So for it to be able to get international and also get writing, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a pretty interesting batch of nominees. I'm excited to dive into them a little bit more. I don't know if you have any final thoughts here as we wrap things up.
This will also be the year where they're going to honor Samuel L. Jackson, Elaine May, Liv
Right.
Ullmann, Danny Glover, and like I was saying earlier before we got into all the nominations, this is a year where they have hired Will Packer, who has done a lot of the Kevin Hart movies, so that's clearly going to be more of a comedic Oscars that they're going to be approaching. And I feel like we haven't had a comedic Oscars in a little bit because that usually depends on the host. Still haven't announced a host. Could end up being Kevin Hart since it is, again, a producer who he's worked with a
It was
lot. But it's gonna
always
be
his
really,
dream until he got canceled.
it was always his dream. So we'll see if he's able to fulfill it, I guess, in the aftermath of it all. But I'm going to be very curious to see how they roll out the award ceremony. It's going to be what? At the end of March is how they brought it up.
Yeah.
So voting ends at the beginning of March, and then the ceremony is going to be right at the end of March. I think there should be no problem with the broadcast. Probably going to be on Hulu because I think that's where last year's was.
Well, it's always
I think-
ABC, but
Mhm.
it's part of the Disney.
Hulu, yeah, all
Yeah.
that stuff's there. So, a good thing about this is that most of the movies are out, not just available for you to be able to see in theaters, but some are even most are even streaming.
Yeah, actually, let's
at
go
home.
down
That's
this list
awesome.
again quickly. So, Power of the Dog, Netflix, Dune. Is that back on HBO Max already or no?
Dune is not back up on HBO Max, but I believe it comes out next month. It is available to purchase in Steelbook, to buy everything.
Belfast.
And it was just on sale.
Belfast, I think, is available on VOD. West Side Story, I think, is available on VOD now. It's definitely back.
Everyone's just been waiting. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been annoying with that one.
King Richard, that's another one that we're waiting to show back up on HBO Max, I think. It's
Yep, it should be up in a couple of months,
probably up on VOD
and it's
now.
available to purchase. It's on VOD.
Don't Look Up is Netflix. Drive My Car is still only in theaters, I want to say.
Yeah, but it's got a pretty good run.
Yeah. Nightmare Alley, as we mentioned, HBO Max and Hulu.
And Hulu.
Being the Ricardos, Amazon, Coda, Apple, Encanto, Disney, Flea. Flea, I think, is still VOD.
Coda, Apple, and Encanto. Wait, say that again?
Flea? Yeah.
Yeah, Flea's still VOD.
Then we got Licorice Pizza is still in theaters. Lost Daughter is on Netflix. No Time to Die is on VOD. And then Tragedy of Macbeth is another one on Apple. So at least half of those movies available to stream right now.
Now, what's going to be interesting now that you were mentioning that is that we know how the Academy is with honoring, I guess, streamers. And in particular, when they're nominating an actor or an individual, a person, they don't see that as honoring the streamer. But when it's something like for Best Picture, where you're giving it to the producers, you're almost giving it to that studio as well. And it has been this big debate with the rules of the theatrical releases on the Oscars that streamers are looked down upon. That's why with this list of 10, when AMC is doing its re-showings, they don't do a lot of the streaming ones. Specifically, they don't do a lot of the Netflix ones, because looking at the 10 again, Coda is a streamer with Apple. Don't Look Up is Netflix, so they may not be playing that. Dune counts only because it was the same day and date release, but it was still considered a theater movie. Same thing for King Richard. Power of the Dog, though, it being Netflix. Coda, Don't Look Up, and Power of the Dog. If any of those movies win, that would be history as well for the Academy in honoring a movie that comes from a streamer. That was a big deal with Roma going in, that a lot of people felt it wasn't going to get the win because the Academy wasn't ready. Look at that. It did not win.
Maybe another
Will
reason
this be the year
to believe that Belfast is our front runner?
Yes, it is. And I keep telling you, stop saying these things. I know it's unspoken, Zach, but the more you say it, you're going to will it into existence. But it is. Sadly, it is. It would be dope, though. You know, just pull that Band-Aid. It's going to happen. Look at who you're nominating. It's just a matter of time. What should matter is the movie. So give it to Power. If Coda, for whatever reason, ends up snatching it up, Apple will have paid peanuts with that $25 million for the pick of the Coda at Sundance. But
I mean, already just the fact that it got
Netflix's time,
those
man.
3 Oscar nominations, I feel like Tim Cook
Dude,
is looking at his
he's
bottom
so
line
happy.
and smiling.
$25 million. It answers the question people asked almost 2 years ago, or a year and change ago. Why did Apple drop the most money that has ever been dropped on a Sundance feature for $25 million? The record was like 17. For this right here, Apple getting a big Best Picture nomination there with Coda. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Very interesting. We will continue to talk about the Oscars as we get closer to them. I think we actually need to do like a breakdown of what our favorite performances were in the different categories and all that. So we got that video still coming, and make sure you leave us some comments, some questions down below on your thoughts on the Oscar nominations. We will run through the comments on a future live stream for sure. But I think we've been already at this for an hour and a half. It's early. I might go get a coffee finally. I'm not much of a coffee person, but I think I need it today.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, stick with us here on Intercut. You can follow more from me, Zach Shevich, over on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd at zshevich, ZSHEVICH. Art, where can people find more from you?
You can find me over at Elmi Explains, on Letterboxd complaining about Belfast, on Twitter complaining about Belfast, and every week here on the Intercut podcast, hoping that Belfast doesn't win any of its nominations.
Find new episodes of Intercut every Monday. You can check us out on your favorite podcatcher, whatever that is. I like Overcast. Also subscribe to our YouTube, youtube.com/intercutpod, where you can watch us as we break down the latest in entertainment. Follow our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All of them are at Intercut Pod. You can support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, and we will be doing our next Patreon hangout next week on Monday, so make sure to head over there if you want to join in on the Google Hangout. Also, check out our Discord in the links in the description down below. I might go hang out on Discord for a little bit and chat with people about the Oscar nominations after this, so if you want to go break it down, head over to Discord. So yeah, go follow all those social media things, and you'll get updates throughout the week from me, from Art, from everyone that we feature here on Intercut. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, it's an honor to not be nominated.